are you guys? If you guys are in the Discord, you know what I mean, then you heard that. All good, Rachy, period. Join the live show tab, and then you will be able to call in. Yeah. Anyways, for the people in the back, though, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is why I'm on high alert. You know what I mean? This is why I'm on high alert with everybody that comes up here. Even the people that are saying, "Oh, I'm on your side." You see, I don't trust you guys at all. I'm just saying, if I wanted to take you down, that's what I would do. If I wanted to take you down, but I knew that I couldn't prove you wrong, I would come up and pretend like I'm on your side, and then wage a war from the inside. That's what militaries do, right? The infiltrators. You think I don't know what an infiltrator is? You think I don't know what a ruse is? I know what a ruse is. Like, what's wrong with you guys? I actually trust people that say that they disagree with me more sometimes. Shout out B God. B God, thank you so much. One Shy said, I appreciate what you teach. Shout out to you, One Shy. B God, thank you for the $5, bro. B God always comes through and laces us. Morty said, I'm not smart enough for military tactics. I bet you aren't, Morty. I bet you aren't. Linda said, I'm here for a bit. Just me. Yeah, me too, Linda. I'm going to probably end around 5 o'clock, go hang out with family, and then I'll come back later on this evening, and we'll pick it right back up. All right. Shout out B Guys. Shout out Morty in the chat. Shout out One Shy. And, of course, shout out Linda. All right. I'm gonna let Pat come up and give us a question or a comment while everybody's rolling in. Pat, you have a question or a comment for us? Pat Stock. Patty Daddy. All right, we'll let Pat get his mic together. Wow. Shout out Grandum. Grandum sent the 10 jewels. Thank you, Grandum. I love and I appreciate you for that. Thor, I sent you the request, Thor, if you want to come up. On the request line. Linda said, I hope to see you later. Linda, you will see me later, most definitely. I don't know what time this evening, but I will be coming back this evening. All right, I'll let you guys get your stuff together. All right, Stalker, you made it back up here, huh? Stalker. Stalker. What's wrong with you guys? What is wrong with you? Hello. All right. I guess nobody wants to talk now, huh? Everybody's in the back raising their hand, but nobody wants to talk. Pat, I'm gonna give you one more opportunity, Pat. I invited you up. Pat, are you there? Bueno. Yeah, I barely. I can hear you though.
No, I didn't. When I joined earlier, I didn't.
There's something wrong with your mic. Your mic is like very scratchy.
The mic bad?
Yeah, well, I can hear you. It's just far away and a little scratchy. Go ahead. What's your question or comment? Go ahead.
In regards to the Atlantis, what is the ancient technology from however many years? Get behind this. You know, I'm behind a lot of the stuff, but this is one I haven't really heard. So,
no problem.
Technology.
No problem.
That we found or was discovered.
No problem. Good question. Thank you for that question, Pat. The ancient technology that we discovered is the technology that we still use today, that people claim was invented in a short time period in America between whatever years. They weren't inventing any of that technology. They were just discovering it. So, I mean, I would go as far as to say, without exception, I'm talking about the internet. I'm talking about phones. I'm talking about everything. These are things that I believe were present and invented here in Atlantis thousands of years ago when our technological advancements permitted so, back when people were building pyramids, et cetera, et cetera. That's why we don't have the technology to build the buildings that we have today. That's why we don't have the technology to build the buildings that we have today. Isn't that crazy? You know, that we have all of these buildings and we can't reinvent these buildings. So there's a lot of that technology that believe that was here. And that's why as soon as America was taken over, that technology began to be spread out throughout the world. You know, like the rest of the world has technology now because of what comes out of America for the most part, especially if we're taking it all the way back to the 18 and 1900s. So yeah, these technological revolutions were just them rediscovering technology the same way that they rediscovered these old buildings. You know, so I mean, all the military technology that we use today, all that military technology, it was not invented when they tell you it was invented. It was discovered here in America or in Atlantis and then redistributed. You know, now they hide it and use it for military stuff. A good example of this is the World's Fairs. Go look at the World's Fairs. Joey said Atlantis was never lost because we are standing on it. Shout out Joey. Go look at the World's Fairs, guys. The World's Fairs is a display of all of this random technology that, again, we still don't even have access to today. You know, so they showed you all the technology that they found, and then they got rid of most of it because, you know, I guarantee you that they wouldn't be able to control us if we had access to all of it. Like there were so many different weird gadgets that people used to use, different health remedies, you know, that you know, quite frankly, are the linchpin to billion-dollar industries right now, which again is just a linchpin to slavery, you know. So, like, think about how many medical devices that they had to get rid of so that way they could make sure that they controlled the medical profession the way that they do today. Thank you for that question. The Discord is on my page, guys. If you want to call in. Lee Elliott said they are holding back the good stuff. Lee Elliott, I thoroughly believe that. Thoroughly. Four, are you up here to troll us?
Negative. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about
Can you
yourself?
hear me?
Yeah, how are you doing over there?
I'm doing pretty good.
You are?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Well,
I'm just at work.
Hey, okay. I just wanted to make sure you was all good out there in the cabin.
So I had asked a couple questions in the chat, and I just wanted to ask you here.
No problem. Go ahead.
I had seen I follow Flat Earth a bit, you know, following their research, and they had sent a bunch of them down to Antarctica to observe the sun.
Right.
So that way they could watch it on the projected path of the Flat Earth model. And then when they observed that, they were incorrect, and I wanted to ask you about that.
Right. Well, I no problem. Thank you for that question, by the way. And if you guys come up here and you ask a question and you have a follow up or you have another question, you're more than welcome to request to come back up. Okay. Thank you for that question. So the trip to Antarctica is a matter of great debate. My main issue with this entire idea is the fact that observations of the sky don't actually prove what's going on with the ground. Now, maybe they had a flat Earth model that was debunked by them seeing a 24-hour sun. I don't really know anything about that, though. I don't actually look at life and science in terms of models. I look at science in terms of scientific experiments. And so there are scientific experiments that can be done on the ground. There are measurements that can be done on the ground. These things are evidence of the ground. There are scientific experiments that can be done on the sky. There are evidences that can be observed in the sky. These things are scientific evidences of the sky, not the other way around. And these two things are not interchangeable. So that is my main issue with that entire thing. Not to mention the fact that, you know, what evidence do we actually even have that they did what they say that they're doing? I don't really care to get into the conspiratorial theories that much. My main point is an observation of the sky cannot prove the shape of the ground at all. And as a matter of fact, if you are a carpenter and I hire you to measure my ground and you come in and you start measuring my ceiling, this is what I'm going to tell you. Yeah! Fast. Quick, fast, in a hurry. All right? You finna be out of there. Same thing with the earth. No, I have no problem with people saying that they believe that the sun is evidence that the earth is a certain shape. It can be evidence, but it's not conclusive and it's not scientific. All right? Thank you for that question, bro. Stalker, you made it back up here, huh?
Yes, I did.
All right. Are you up here to troll us?
No.
Oh, okay. What's on your mind?
So depending on where we are in our orbital cycle of the sun, the constellations change. And so, for example, in summer, you can't really see the constellations that you can see in winter because they're on the day side of the planet, and it's kind of hard to see, past the sun because the sun is, very bright. But there and again, when you transitioning, the constellations keep changing. So that means we're orbiting around the sun.
How do you? Okay, you said. Hold on. You said the constellations keep changing. Why would you think that means? Why would you think that means that we're moving instead of the constellations moving? Why aren't the constellations just moving?
Because we can track the movement of the certain stars.
Yeah. I know. We can track the movement of the stars. The conclusion from that is that the stars are moving. That's the conclusion of the statement you just gave. We can track the movement of the stars, so the stars are moving.
No.
Yes. Do you know how English works? Do you know how English works?
No.
Do you know how English works?
No. Do you know how light travels? Like.
Do you know how English works? Do you know how English works? Do you know how English works?
Shifting where the fucking light is, right?
I need you to stop cursing, bro. All right, listen. Let me explain something to you. If I am standing on a street, like let's say I'm at the bus stop, and I see a bus drive by, the conclusion from me seeing the bus drive by is that the bus is moving, correct? Yes or no?
Where are you going with this?
Is the answer yes or no? If I see a bus moving and I'm standing on the street, what is my conclusion? That the bus is moving, right? All right.
Unless it's, not moving.
Okay, so that's my point. All right. All right. Okay, so if I see the bus moving, it's only evidence of the bus moving. Likewise, if I see the stars moving, that is only evidence of the stars moving. That's how the world works. That's how physics works. You don't get to change that. You do not get to change that, all right?
Not on duty.
Do you know how physics work?
Yeah, I just explained it to you. If you see something moving, the natural conclusion is that that thing is in motion.
It isn't.
Huh?
No, it isn't.
Based on what? What are you basing that on?
That we are the ones fucking.
No. All right. You know what, bro? You have to go, bro. You have to go. All right. That's what I'm saying. Like, you just, you're annoying to talk to. You know what I mean? Like, I got to worry about you saying the F word every other word, bro. You know what I mean? Like, as a matter of fact, yeah, you can't come back up here. All right. You can't come back up here. All right. Buddy said, don't insult the guest. I'll insult the guest as much as I want. He's an idiot, and so are you. Walter Hall, both of you guys are absolute morons. Absolute stupid buffoon morons. The dumbest people I ever talked to my entire fucking life. Now what? If you're gonna curse for emphasis. Don't curse every other word because you don't know what the hell to say. That displays a lack of intelligence. All right? If you see a bus moving, the conclusion is that the bus is moving. If you see the stars moving, the conclusion is that the stars is moving. That's how physics works. I asked him, well, is that how physics works? He's like, no, that's not. What are you basing this on? Because the effing star, like, bro, you are a nothing burger. You're a nothing burger. You add no value to this conversation or to anybody in life. All right? Go do your job. And I love you. Okay? I didn't mean that last part about you not having value, all right? Walter said you're cursing too. Yeah, I get the curse because this is my show, number one, and I don't curse every other sentence because I don't know what the F to say. If I curse, it's because I want you to hear me curse. Not because I don't know what to say because I'm a damn idiot. All right? You are a moron. You and your entire family. Now what? Shout out Serica Life.
A little too personal there, friend. But
You said I'm getting too personal? Hold on, Thor, hold on. You said I'm getting too personal?
Let's flip it back a little bit here, Frank.
Thor, this is your first time watching me, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Just know that I'm not that guy, bro. No offense. I like you, Thor. You seem like a nice guy. We're not friends. We're not cool. We're not associates. We not nothing like that. You know what I mean? You are a person that watches my show. Listen, you are a person that is watching my show. You came up to call in to contribute. You're not going to tell me how to run my show or how I'm going to react to things ever at any point in life. You understand that? Do you understand that, Thor?
I think it just carries it carries some, your actions carry it. But either way.
No, not either way. Not either way. Not either way. Let's break this down. My actions carry what?
Okay.
What do my actions carry?
Wait.
Okay, so what does that mean?
Means that when you unknowingly insult other people, like this person's family, you don't know anything about them.
I know a lot about them. I know a lot about them. I know a lot about them based on the type of children that they raise.
How do you know they're children?
I'm talking to one of them. I was just talking to one of them. Yeah, based on him.
Him and his children and his family?
No, I was talking to him. I was talking to him, and that's what I'm basing his family on. And I don't unknowingly, and I don't hold on. I can't hear you, bro. All right. I don't unknowingly insult people. When I insult people, it's very directive. On purpose, every time. Grandum said, "Do your parents believe in this too, or is this your own opinion?" No, my parents do not believe what I believe, but you can tell a lot about my parents by the way that I act. 100%. The fact that I use critical thinking and absolutely everything that I do, I guarantee you, when you meet my parents, you're going to be like, "Oh, it makes perfect sense." Yeah, he acts like a combination of his parents. That don't mean that we have to agree, but the way that we think about things is the same, even though we come to different conclusions. That is a fact. Yes. So yeah, I can tell how dumb his parents are. I can tell how dumb his parents are by how dumb he is. Now, my kids would never be that dumb, ever. My son is already smarter than his. My son is already smarter than him. As a little kid, my son is already a better thinker than that idiot.
And that specific one, sure. I'll give you that. You can say things about him, and that's fine.
I didn't insult everybody's family. I insulted his family because he came up here with that. And Thor, since we're on the subject, right? Thor, do you think that even if I have a YouTube channel and I allow people to come up here and talk to me, do you think that I have an obligation to be nice to everybody? Do you think I have an obligation to do that, Thor? His volume is all the way up, guys. They keep saying turn you up. Your volume is all the way up, bro. Do you have
I can talk a little louder. I'm on.
Okay. Do you think that I have an obligation to be nice to people when they come up here? An obligation?
Negative. No one has an obligation to be nice.
Do you think you have an obligation to respect them or no, right? Okay, so
there's no obligation.
That's all right.
It's just there's kind of like how their actions tell you a lot about them. Your actions tell us a lot about you.
I want my actions to tell you a lot about me. I am hoping that I'm hoping that you're picking up the right signal. That I'm not the one to be up here playing with at all. Not in the least bit. Yeah, my actions to tell you that I'm a very aggressive person. I get very, very passionate about the stuff that I believe in, and I don't play around or troll.
So that's okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Like my actions.
Okay. That's all good and well.
Yeah, and if I feel like somebody's playing with me, I'm gonna take it to the fullest extent. I want people to know that about me. That's what I'm trying to display. Anyways, what's your question, Thor? We can move on from that. What's your question?
So yeah, we had touched on the Antarctic experiment.
Yeah, the observation. That's not an experiment. By the way, hold on. One second. By the way, that's not an experiment. That is just an observation that they did of the sky. That's not an experiment. Even though they call it that, don't make it an experiment.
They called it that, but either way.
And I call myself God, and so I must be God, right?
Negative.
All right, that's what I mean. So
they call it an experiment, and then they track all the data like an experiment, and it looks like an experiment. It might
might be called an experiment.
It's not an experiment. No, it's not an experiment.
Where my question's going here, the subject of the matter is that you postulated that I can't measure the sky and make observations of the ground.
Not scientific. I said
match the two.
I was very specific. I said I have no problem with you looking at the sky and saying maybe this is evidence of what's going on the ground, but it's not conclusive. Right. It's not conclusive, and it's certainly not scientific. Evidence, sure. Scientific, no.
So what I want to go to next, so there was an experiment that they did on a lake across a body of water that was long enough that according to the round Earth model, they should be able to observe a drop over an elevation, like where they shone a laser as level to the Earth, level to what gravity says, according to what they could say or what they could see, with what tools they had access with their own hands and eyes. They shone the laser across the lake, which should be perfectly flat, according to how the laws of physics work. And when they observed the laser from the other direction, and they put their board up with the pinhole that the laser should be going through, that they predicted, that they were not able to see the light. And then whenever they moved the board to where the round Earth predicted that the laser would be, they were able to observe that light.
All right. Let me answer this very quickly. Number one, that experiment does not prove the shape and the size of a given terrain between those 2 points. It might be able to predict very... Can you be quiet? Can you be quiet? Jesus, God dang Christ. All right? That experiment may be able to predict the elevation changes in terrains over maybe 2 points, but elevation changes in terrains do not predict the shape and the size of an entire terrain. And we're just talking about between 2 points. So even if that laser did predict the entire terrain between those 2 points, you've only done the experiment on those 2 points. That does not tell you what the shape and size of the entire Earth is. It does not.
Correct.
All right, if that's correct, then why the hell are we talking about this? Why are we talking about it then?
Because when you keep doing the experiment over and over on different points in different places. Also, I'm sorry. Let me come back.
Oh God.
On that experiment, the elevation was the same on both sides. That's why they chose this lake, because they knew the elevation.
Bro, we already know this. Thor.
At the shore.
Thor, I've had 19,000 debates, bro. You're muted now, bro. You're muted. All right. Listen, I've had 19,000 debates. You're not going to come up here and explain this shit to us again. All right. Get right to the part where you explain to us how this proves the shape and size of the entire Earth. When did this experiment prove the shape and the size of the entire Earth? That's all I want to hear, bro.
When the explanation isn't met with the ability to think about it and is automatically assumed as wrong, then there's not really anything to say about that.
I asked you a question.
Well,
you're making shit up, Thor. You're making shit up. Get to the part. All right, then explain to us when and where this proved the shape and size of the whole Earth, not 2 random points. When did they do this around the whole Earth and prove the whole Earth? When did they do that?
Because you can't do that.
Oh!
You could in a flat
Earth. Why are you wasting our damn time?
You 100% could in a flat Earth.
You're making shit up, Thor.
You could 100% shine a laser across an ocean, and it would go flat with the Earth, just like how you predict.
Thor.
And you would be able to go all the way across.
Thor. Because you seem like a nice guy, and we had that conversation at the beginning, I'm going to try my best to be nice about this, all right? Critical thinking is not your strong suit, Thor. You're not quite understanding the parameters of this conversation on the way. 100%, bro. 100%.
Oh, my God, you're an idiot, dude.
Oh, I'm an idiot? I'm an idiot, right? That's hilarious. All right, Thor, since I'm an idiot, okay? All right, here you go, Thor, all right? Number one, Thor, I never actually said the Earth was flat at all. I said the Earth was a globe, all right? That's what I said. The reason why you are up here, Thor, trying to explain why some experiment cannot work on the flat Earth, Thor, is because you don't actually have physical evidence that the Earth is a globe, Thor. You know how I know that? Because you didn't focus on a globe when you came up here. You chose to talk about flat Earth. Do you see the word flat up here, Thor? No, you don't. All right. That's why I called the last guy an idiot, Thor, and that's why you're an idiot, Thor. You are a complete and utter moron. You don't know how to read, or you do know how to read, and you're afraid to engage with the conversation. So that's why you're trying to marginalize the conversation into being about flat Earth, because you know you're getting cooked. And I love you, Thor. All right. You seem like a nice guy, but you know, get your ass cooked. All right. Nice spanking that ass, dog.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Joey said, I'm just saying that it doesn't make enough sense to say that 2 points equal every point. Joey, thank you so much for that. You gave me the right words that I was looking for. All right. That's the words that I'm looking for. 2 points does not mean that you know the reality of every point on Earth now. This is what they do. They're like, oh, I did a measurement between 2 points. So now I know every point on Earth. That's what they're doing. This is how dumb you are. This is how dumb you sound. This is what I told the last dude, that his entire family was dumb. And I believe that about you now, Thor. I believe that about you too. Your parents would be embarrassed. All right? Or maybe they wouldn't be, because they're idiots like you. And I love you. I need to stop doing that. All right? I need to stop disrespecting people's family. But I'm just saying, like, that's the only thing I can think of now. Because you guys tell me, don't call people dumb. All right, I won't call you dumb. The family that raised you is dumb. What? What? Joey, I'm adding you as a mod off that. Don't make me regret it, all right? Buddy is sick. I know the distance between 2 points, so now I know the shape of the entire Earth. No, the only thing that we know for sure is that you are a moron. You are an absolute idiot. The dumbest MFer alive. OUI says, smartest thing I can say is I really don't know shit. Absolutely, OUI. I agree with that. The only thing we know for sure is that we don't know anything for sure. Joey, we talked earlier on Discord. What was your name on Discord, Joey? Oh, okay, for sure. I'll make sure I keep that in mind next time you come up, bro. Nathan said vampires are real. I mean, that's just a fact. They admitted as much in those files that are not to be named. Indigo Girl was good. Leonard was good. B God was good. Dacha, Point Fire, what is good? I love and I appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. Self-made was good. Self-made. Paradise said laser light curves up. Belia said Earth is a phallic shape. Sarika said KFC is better than Burger King. What is that about? Morty said energy vampires are definitely real. Absolutely. Morty, and I'm pretty sure you are one such person. Morty, you know, I've been, you know, profiling you for a little bit. I think you fall into that category. That's why you named it so quick. Yeah, that's why you knew what that was so quick, Morty, because that's what you are. Nathan, I'm sorry to hear that, Nathan. I really am. Thank you for letting me know. Guys, if you want to call in, the Discord is on my page right now. All right, the Discord's on my page. Join the live show tab, and then I'll bring you up. Hey, Thor, why are you asking to come back up? Didn't you just leave? Thor, that's not a very manly thing to do, all right? How are you gonna walk out of a room, slam the door on somebody, then open it back up? Nah, Thor, I don't want to talk to a grown man that hangs up on people and then calls right back. Buddy gonna hang up on me and then call back. Oh, I got more to say. Thor, if you have more to say, you should have kept your stupid ass up here, all right? Yeah, buddy, now you gotta sit here and listen to my insults. All right, you should have kept your stupid ass up here instead of coming up here and embarrassing your family that way, Thor. Yep, now I'm on you. You don't even understand, Thor, that just because you measure 2 points, that don't mean that you know the actual distance and the shape and the size between every point on Earth. Like my guy Joey had to explain that to you, Thor. You are a buffoon. Your parents taught you nothing, Thor. Your parents taught you nothing. But I still love you and I love them, all right? Tell them that I do. I just don't want to talk to idiots anymore, Thor. Especially idiots that hang up on people, you know what I mean? Thor, hey, that's what people that I'm in a relationship with do, Thor, and I don't like that. All right, don't hang up on people and then call back. That's that weirdo shit, Thor. Sarika said Earth is donut shaped. That's why when you go far enough north, you go south. Very interesting. Yeah, let's calm down on that, Leonard. Shout out, Leonard. I did read that and I kind of agree, but let's calm down on that. Oh. Guys, do me a favor, like the video and sub if you like the content. I'll probably be up here for like another hour or so, okay? Another hour or so, and then I'm gonna go hang out with my family. Mothma Edits, are you up here to troll us?
No, it's mathematics, man. No, I'm definitely.
Oh, mathematics. Okay. All right, go ahead. What's on your mind?
I mean, I ain't got much, man. This is my first time doing this, so I'm trying to kind of figure it out, man. But I've been listening to your show. I think I seen you before a while ago, man, and I agree with everything you got going on, man. You definitely a sharpshooter with this flat Earth thing, man.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I'm glad that you tune in. I'm glad that you like the content. I just try to keep it honest for the most part is all.
Right. I was just on the other platform watching. I'm just figuring this Discord thing out. So, you know what I mean? But keep going with what you're doing, man. You're doing a good job, man. All the non-believers or the haters or however you see them, they're going to always be there, man. Just keep doing what you're doing.
I appreciate that so much, man. Listen, you're welcome up here anytime. If you ever want to share a positive message or you got a question or a comment, you're always welcome, man. And let me know if you type in the chat on YouTube, and I'll add you as a mod, bro. All right? Yeah, the Discord is really so people can call in and participate in the show if they want to. So you guys are always welcome up here as long as you're not trolling. All right? Jackson, are you up here to troll us, bro?
No.
Okay. No, what are you saying?
That we've seen ships go over the horizon.
So what does that mean? What does that mean?
That means that the Earth is not flat.
How does that prove that the Earth is not flat?
They go over the horizon.
Okay, is the horizon a physical location?
No.
All right, so that's not physical evidence of anything.
But it is.
You just said it's not physical. So how can it be physical evidence?
If
How
it's
can it
not
be?
physical, doesn't mean you can't observe it.
If it's not physical, then it's not physical evidence. That's a fact. Yeah.
We have
You're not muted. If it's not physical, it's not physical evidence. So do you have any other physical evidence or what?
so hard to argue with flat earthers because as we're all like this, you deny all the evidence.
We're all like what, bro? What are we all like? What are we all like? Go ahead. What do we do, bro? Tell us. What do we do? Tell us. Go ahead. What do we do? Tell us. What do we do? Shout out to you, bro. Hey, Thor, guess what? I ain't bringing you up, asshole. All right? Go have fun in your cabin. And you know what? And I actually, you know, when you came in here, I read your thing. And I was like, hey, man, I'm just checking on you, bro. Hopefully all is well. But turns out you're an ignorant asshole. All right, Thor, I don't like you. Go find something else to do, bro. All right, go find somebody more entertaining on YouTube to watch. All right? Take off, bro. You're a grown man begging to talk to another grown man. You should be embarrassed. All right? As a matter of fact, on the phone, you sounded like you were like 70. As a 70-year-old man, you should not be on YouTube in people's Discord, bro. I'm gonna just be honest. All right, you should be doing your own live. At 70 years old, bro, you should be teaching us. All right, you're supposed to be doing your own live, teaching us. Go ahead. Oh, sorry. Burger said you are wrong about everything. And guess what, Burger? I disagree. I am right about everything. You see how those two statements hold the exact same weight? You're wrong. No, I'm not. Emma said he stutter and splutter, Mr. No, nothing at all. I definitely do have a big stuttering issue. It is what it is, all right? And honestly, the fact that I have a stuttering issue, it should be way easier for you guys to come up here and shut me down. I mean, doesn't that make you guys feel even worse, right? You guys come up here and I shut you completely down. I be shutting y'all down left and right, and I stutter really bad. I mean, like I'm on the top half of worst stutters. You know what I mean? I come from a long line of stutterers. All right? Everybody in my damn family stutters down there. That's how bad my stuttering is. And y'all still can't do nothing with me. Still can't do nothing with me. Jeremy said I'm the Floyd Mayweather of this shit. I gotta come up with a Floyd Mayweather moniker now. Can't do nothing with me. I'm up here stuttering my ass off. A bleed, the bleed, the bleed, the bleed. And y'all can't do shit. I'm just saying, if I had to go against me, I would destroy me. But thank God it's me, so. It's me. Hey, it's me, though. It's me. All right, this is me. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but before you come up here, understand that this is me you talking to. You're not talking to you. $2518 said it says the Earth is flat in the UFO files. Point Fire said NASA or Santa Claus. Shout out Jeremiah. I see you up there, Jeremiah. Jeremiah, Joey, B God, all my loved ones. Point Fire. I love you guys so much. Indigo Girl, if you're still up there. Rachel said, I think everyone stutters at times and get things back to front. Like I say things back to front sometimes. Like I'm going in the hair to wash my shower. Yeah, I do that all the time. That's what I'm saying, Rachel. I never consider myself to be smarter or better than anybody. But just don't come in here acting like you're smarter or better than me. Because we will test that theory. Trust me. 2518 said, I love these streams. Josh, I love you, man. All right, I do. I really mean it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, for real. You know what? I'm going to add Rachie as a mod, all right? Rachie, I know you disagree with me vehemently, but you've been in here so long, and you are an honest disagreeer. So I'm adding Rachie as a mod, officially. All right, Rachie, don't make me regret this. Don't delete any people unless they're trying to get the live shut down. Joey said, many thanks. I used to watch the show without commenting. Well, I'm glad we finally got you in the game, Joey. DJ Go said, can I get a mod too? The people that get mods are the people that participate in the conversation, period. If I haven't added you as a mod, it's because I haven't racked up enough pieces of information that you've said yet, all right? As a matter of fact, 2518, I'm making you a mod. Speaking of, 2518 is a mod. Yeah, if you add to the conversation, if you say pieces of information, whether you disagree with me or not, if you are constantly saying information, I will add you as a mod because I want to read what you're saying. Ant said, I love how people make insane claims and then ask you to prove yourself. Yeah, I agree. I think people do that all the time. People come up here and they do that all the time. DJ Go said, I love these streams. Well, I'm glad you love these streams. Thank you. Yeah, Rachie, all of my friends are like that in real life. My very best friends are the friends that we get together and we disagree all day. We find one thing after another to disagree about, and we have the time of our lives disagreeing with each other. You know what I mean? We literally just sit there like my one of my mentors, who is a kind of an OG in this space, if you will. He has a podcast school actually. My boy Keith Good News. A lot of people know Keith Good News. Me and Keith Good News sit down and disagree with each other for 8 hours at a time. Sometimes we sit there and we smoke and eat and we just disagree one subject after another, like kids in a candy store. We just sit there and we disagree on everything. Ghost said, "Shut up." All right, Ghost. I'll make it to where you don't have to hear me anymore. You don't have to hear me, Ghost. Joey said, awesome. I think the dome everyone was living under should be a bit more unsettling than comfortable. No, Thor. All right, no. I already told you I don't like you. You think I was going to forget that whole conversation we had? You hung up on me, Thor. All right, you hung up on me. Leave me alone now. All right, yeah. I don't like weirdos like that, bro. All right, you didn't like what I was saying, so you laughed and then you hung up because you didn't want to feel like you were being embarrassed. Too late. You got embarrassed and then you left. Now leave, bud. E123 said, can I hear how Black Americans are not from Africa? The Atlantic slave trade was told in reverse. More slaves were sold out of America than were sold to America. Morty said, bro insults me every time. I still show support. Y'all soft. Right, shout out Morty. Morty, like I literally am calling him Morty out of pure insult the entire time. I don't even address him without insulting him. And he's like, I mean, it's fair, right? I'm not like saying anything out of bounds. I'm not cursing his family or nothing like that. You know what I mean? I'm just calling him Morty. And when he says something, I read it. If I disagree, I tell him why. E123 said, where are all the Indians? The Black Americans are the original Native Americans. The Black Americans are the original Indians. The Black Americans are the original Aboriginals. All right? The people that call themselves Native American today are imposters.
I'm 164th Cherokee. What?
A, no, you're probably not.
And B through Z, nobody gives a shit.
E122 said, where are all... Oh, I already read that. Josh said, I always like that he reads out what people say, even if it's stupid. Yeah, you're right. If it's not out of bounds, I'm going to read it. I mean, I'm not a licensed scientist, but even Claude was impressed by my theories, and I literally told it not to flatter me in the central brain of it. How do Black Americans and light-skinned Indians mix? Did your parents never teach you about the birds and the bees? Huh? Your parents didn't teach you about the birds and the bees? All right. Hey, Eric Patterson. Hey, bring any woman in your family around me. You'll find out real quick how it happened. Trust me, you'll find out real quick. Hey, the way that they mixed is because they saw me. That's what happened. Hey, the light-skinned people came over here and they see me, and there went the neighborhood. Hey, there went the neighborhood, and y'all been mad ever since, making up lies about us ever since. Hey, ever since that great faithful day that my great-grandfather took your great-grandfather's woman and then had kids with her, your great-grandfather has been making up lies about us ever since. I'm just talking to him, by the way, all right? I'm just talking to him. I'm not talking to everybody. Morty said they like that soundbite. The Archer soundbite. Yeah, and by the way, I don't mind if you guys insult me as well, especially if it's funny. If you guys say funny jokes about me, I will read it out loud. Point fire, I do not know the answer to that. Professor said they are trying to get rid of the 14th Amendment. I believe that. Larish, what's up, Larish? Joey said, easy. Think about how history is only written by the victor of the battle. Yeah, point fire. Let's not elaborate on that too much, all right? Yeah, let's not go there, okay? I appreciate the sentiment, but let's relax on that. All right, guys, we got about an hour left. Okay, an hour left. Get your questions and comments in. If I didn't call you out, put your name. I will literally give you a shout out. Just a zero. Rachie literally agrees with me on all. I mean, literally disagrees with me on almost everything. How is Rachie a simp? She literally disagrees with me. You're just jealous, bro. Stop being jealous. Smoothly said that's not even true. What part isn't true? Larry said, how's your day going? My day is going wonderful. Larry, how's your day going? Smoothly, you are correct about that. All right. I don't like, people using those words explicitly though, because obviously, YouTube censors that stuff. But Smoothly, you are correct about that. All right. I appreciate that comment. Right. I'm like, how are you guys gonna say that Rachie is anything akin to an echo chamber when she literally disagrees with me the whole time? Yep, of course. Shout out Larish, Joey, Rachie, all the mods in the chat, whether you agree or disagree. I love you guys so much. Like I said, I will be back later on in the evening, but we're gonna go up until about 5 right now, and then I'm gonna go hang out with some family. Oh. Someone said history is records of past events. I don't know if I quite understand your comment, someone. Why are you coming back then? Does disrespect make you turned on? Maybe you're talking to somebody else, someone. My bad. I didn't get it. Star B said, evening, Ricky. Does satellite navigation prove that my house and every other location around the world never move an inch? And if so, am I right then to believe we all live on a stationary Earth? Does satellite navigation prove that my house and every other location around the world never move an inch? I think maybe the answer to that is going to be they don't move in relation to each other, but they still move. That's pretty much what they're going to say. But saying they don't move in relation to each other and saying they don't move is basically the same sentence. It's just, they're like, well, yeah, I know you don't see them move, but they just don't move in relation to each other. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Joey. It don't prove anything either way. Yeah, it don't prove anything. Someone said, bro disrespects me every time, but I still support him. Oh, yeah. That's Morty. Yeah, I told Morty earlier that I think that he's a loose harvester. Yeah, Morty, and because we were talking about vampires, right? And in 2 seconds, Morty was like, oh, you mean energy vampires? I'm like, Morty, I knew you were a loose harvester. You are a loose vampire, Morty. So I think he comes in here because he's trying to find a slick way to harvest my loosh. Yeah, don't mind him. Don't mind him. Shout out Indigo Girl. That just said, haters wanna hate, lovers wanna love. I don't even want none of the above. I want to on you. Yes, I do. Oh, yes, I do. I on you. Oh my God. I used to watch that religiously growing up. I mean, we all did. If you're from America, come on now. Guys, the Discord is on my page. If you would like to call in, you can do so. We got 2 people in the chat right now. One of them is not coming up for the rest of this live. Thor, if you catch me on the next live, I'll bring you up, Thor. But not this time, bro. I'm a man of my word, okay? I don't know how you were raised, Thor, but me as a man, if you're talking to another grown man and he just hangs up on you, you don't answer that man's phone call when he calls back. Absolutely not. You're like, bro, you hung up. All right, we're not cool anymore. All right, you can call me like I said. When I come back after I hang out with my family and you're still here, then all right, we'll give you another chance. But as a grown man, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that at all. Paul said, is the earth is only a few thousand years old? Explain petrified forests. Sir, you don't understand petrification enough to make a claim that petrification would take a long time. Petrification of things can happen very quickly, actually. There is certainly evidence of this. As a matter of fact, like fossilization and petrification, for the most part, have to happen when things are covered quickly. You introduce radiation to that and you can petrify things instantly. Are you up on this? Marcel, stop being jealous of black people, all right? Stop being jealous of black people. If you ever start a sentence with, why do black people blank? You are jealous, all right? You're jealous. That's the only way you could be thinking that deeply about a group that you don't belong to. I can guarantee you that. Because listen, I love white people, right? I love all people, but I'm around a lot of white people in America, and so I do love white people. A lot of them do a lot of evil shit. That's not even up for debate, right? A lot of white people do a lot of evil shit. Do you think that I ever open my mouth and say, you know what white people's problem is? You know what the problem in the white community is? Never in my life have those words ever come out of my mouth ever. I've never said that. You know why? Because I don't have a problem with white people as a whole. I don't even have a problem with what individual white people do. People are evil. That's the reality. There are people that do evil stuff all the time. What does that have to do with white people? That don't got nothing to do with white people. Unless I already have a problem with them. And if I did, that would have to be jealousy. So if you see a black person do something and you think that's evil, and you're like, you know what? All black people. It's because you're jealous of black people. You can't stop thinking about them, and you're trying to express your jealousy through bringing us down. 100%. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I know it seems like I'm overstepping, but no, I can read your mind, bro. You're jealous of black people. That's why you start sentences like, this is why all black people blank. Nobody thinks like that about any other group of people unless they're jealous. Ray G says everybody or whatever does a lot of. I agree. That's what I'm saying. It's not connected to skin tone, and that's actually a cop out. All right, that's another reason why I don't like when people take something evil that one person does and attributes it to an entire group, because that basically allows that person to skirt responsibility. Think about it. How does somebody actually get held responsible for something evil they do if you blame a whole group? If you blame a whole group, then you're making it easier for them to subvert the consequences of their evil mistakes. All right, we don't blame entire groups. We blame individual people. Who did it? Who did it? What's their name? Call them out. Call out a name. Call out a name, or you lying. I don't want to hear it. MK said collective thought equals bad. William said, can't tell if this is rage bait or a stream of conscience or actual thought. William, if you think this is rage bait, that must mean that you're angry, and I don't want you to do that. So let me know if you're angry, and I will get you out of here, okay? I don't want you to be angry. This is only for happy people. Listen, you see my shirt? Look at my shirt. Like, shouldn't this answer all the questions? Is this rage bait? No. All right, this is the happy movement. ELE, everybody love everybody. David said there has been more white slaves in any other group. I think that might be true, David. David, I'm not 100% certain, but I think that might be true. Now, if you're trying to use this in in terms of to make a broader point about society, I'm probably not with you on that. But that is probably true. The Slavs Think about it. The Slavic people, what do you think that was? MK said, I find that at least half of Black Americans do not like white people. MK, you're lying about that. Most Black Americans see white people as above them. Most Black Americans do not dislike white people. That is a complete lie. Yeah, that's a complete lie, bro. Larry said, I was on a guy's channel just like that. He would say the reason why he don't like the Black community because of what one person has done. And he'll blame that one thing that every person has done and say, I didn't catch the second half. But yeah, exactly. That's my point. That you just don't like Black people if you are doing it like that. Because again, there are tons of white people that do evil stuff, tons of them, right? I've never opened my mouth and said the problem in the white community is this. The problem with white people is this. Never, because that's that one person. I'm going to say the problem with the American military is this. The problem with these people is this. I'm going to call them out by name so that way they can actually they can be held responsible. All right. White people as a whole do not get held responsible for what one or two people do. Likewise with every other group. And if you think that, then me and you are not friends or cool. I don't even really want to talk to you if you think that an entire group should be held responsible for the actions of one or two people. And the reason why I don't want to talk to you is because I know for a fact that you're being a hypocrite. I know that for a fact. Rachie, I see you down there. Give me a few minutes. I'm going to bring you up. Guys, like the video, okay? Like the video and sub if you like the content. If you want to call in, you can do it from the Discord. We got Rachie waiting in the queue. Joey said Pluto has always been a planet. I feel like we are hitting every episode of Rick and Morty this time. We are literally hitting every single episode. Tabo said Black men love snow bunnies. Black men love women. Period. All right, Tabo. It's not that Black men love snow bunnies. Black men love women. I don't know if you know Black dudes, but you know, Black dudes are hyper focused on sexuality because we just love women. Yes, big women, short women, tall women, black, white, yellow, purple, green. You can send an alien woman down there. I guarantee you, the first person that's going to hit is going to be one of us. We're going to be one of the first people to hit. I don't give a damn. If you're a woman and you're a nice person, would hey, listen, I know myself, all right? I'm just saying, if you're a pleasant person and you're a woman and you're offering me sex, what do I look like turning that down? Even if you're not that attractive. If you're a nice person, I'm not going to be rude. Come on, you don't want to be rude. That's what I'm saying. Hey, Black people are just nice. That's what it is. We're polite, okay? We're polite people. Thank you, Mixter. I appreciate that. MK, we try not to talk about the Jays too much on here, but my opinion on them is, is the same thing that I said about white people. They try to use the J term to subvert responsibility from the people responsible. And so I don't like when people use that term to describe all evil people, because that's dumb. You know what I mean? That's dumb. Yeah, don't blame the Jays when specific people are doing evil stuff. Because now then you don't ever get to find the people that are doing it. All right. That's how I feel about the idea of the Jays. All right. Whether they're real Jays or not is not important. The important thing is, are you blaming the people responsible, or are you allowing them to subvert responsibility by blaming a whole group? I mean, I'm very passionate about this point right here. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try not to get into it, but I really dislike when people do that. I really do. Rachel, you made it up here, didn't you?
I did, yes.
What'd you say?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I said I made it up here.
All right.
On a side note, can men and women be friends?
That's
Can a man and a woman?
You want to know, can men and women be friends? I think
Yes.
I think there has to be something preventing them from having sex with each other in order for that to happen. You know, not that they can't be friends, but like if you're married to my brother, then we can be friends, right? Because I'm not going to cross that line. So in that
Yeah.
case, yes. But if just like a random woman on the street that ain't related to me in no type of way, you're not related to me in no type of way. You're not dealing with anybody that I know. If we find each other attractive, we're not going to be able to spend an enormous amount of time with each other without giving into our lust. I haven't not experienced that in life. And I will say that I've tested that out many times. You know what I mean? Like there have been women, even especially when I was in college, there were women that, you know, we didn't even have a relationship like that. We weren't friends or nothing. But I was like, all right, I'm gonna be cool with this person. Like I said, no attraction there, nothing. We're just cool. If we're hanging out late, then that's just gonna happen. You're gonna want me to wax, and I'm not gonna turn it down. You know, so I done been through that situation a lot, but you know, I'm not gonna make a blanket statement though. What do you think?
I think that a lot of women think that men and women can be friends, but a lot of men think that now something else will happen along the way.
Yeah, I think a lot of men are hoping that something happens along the way, for the most part, and the women. Again, I don't know this for sure because I'm not a woman, but I think that women get to a point where they, you know, where they're open to that. You know, I think that men right away they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna hang out, and eventually I'm gonna wax. And I think that women are genuinely like, no, I'm not attracted to him. I'm not, gonna go there. But if you hang around somebody long enough, you're gonna find one or two things that you like. You know, he's funny here, he's funny, and then it becomes a comfortability thing with most women, is what I think.
Agree with that. I think men and women can be friends, but I think men most of the time get it in their head that they can be more than friends.
Yeah, I can't deny that. Like I said, I'm guilty of it. I know myself, and so that's why I'm like, I'm not gonna uh, uh, I'm not gonna let a woman pretend like, listen, my intentions with you are just completely honest, and I promise if you threw sex on me, I would never turn it down because I'm such a nice guy. Absolutely not. I know myself. So it's like if I'm gonna be friends with a woman, I'm gonna let her know, like, listen, if it's not going there, it's not going there. But don't mess with me like that because I'm gonna receive it if you throw it. I'm like, that's where I'm at with it.
See, I think men and women can be friends, but some people don't. So
Yeah, I mean, I think it surely is beneficial for men and women to be friends and not have sexual tension there. But it's just it's very difficult. It's very difficult. Is that the only question you had, or you were just wondering?
because you was on about like men and women being friends, so I kind of got sidetracked by that.
Oh no, it's all right. Yeah, like I said, not that if a woman is trying to be friends with me, I'm gonna force no, nothing like that. I just think that it is very difficult for people, especially when they're attracted to each other in any way, to spend an enormous amount of time around each other and that not develop into more.
Like 9 years of friendship.
You said what?
Even after like 9 years of friendship.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think that if I could be wrong, but I think from a woman's standpoint, unless a dude has, severely put himself in the friend zone, I think that the longer a woman knows, excuse me, the longer a woman knows a dude, the more comfortable she gets with the idea of, maybe allowing herself to cross that line. Again, as long as he hasn't put himself in the friend zone. Like me personally, I'm not a friend zone type of dude, like that. Like I said, even if I'm not gonna be sexual with a woman, I let her know up front, like, we're not, there's no intention for me to be sexual. That don't mean that it can't get there though. All right. So don't, so I think that when men establish themselves, like, listen, I'm a man just like anybody else. I find you attractive. If the relationship goes there, it does. If it don't, then that's fine. I think a lot of women are attracted to that. And the more I hold out on that, the more they usually are like, the more they're usually comfortable with it. Like just speaking from from personal experience.
Like a fiance or a husband.
Huh?
Even if they have like a fiance or a husband, you'd still be willing to try.
No, not me. Yeah, not me. Now the average guy obviously probably doesn't care about that. Me personally, no, I don't deal with women that are in relationship with other people. Yeah, so like I said, that would be the clearest cut way that I could be friends with somebody. Like I could be friends with my brother's wife or whatever, you know what I mean? Because I can't look at her in that way, you know what I mean? Because I'm that's just the way that I look at shit. Now I got friends that are not like that. I got friends that will have sex with my wife in 10 seconds. For sure, for sure. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying I'm just like that. The average man though, yeah, no, they don't give a damn who you married to. If it's getting thrown, they catching it. And a lot of women don't care. What was that?
Yeah, well, because obviously you was on about like men and women being friends and whether they could or not. But back to the flat Earth.
All right.
Yeah, so when you say the horizon and like the geometric horizon, like no one actually says that we see the geometric horizon because we live in an atmosphere, so we can't see the geometric horizon. We can only see the apparent horizon.
Yeah, but it's implied when people say stuff like boats go over the horizon, right? Because we're talking about whether or not the Earth is curved. So if you say the boat is going over the horizon, it's implied you are discussing the curve of the Earth. So that would also imply that you think the horizon is where the curve of the Earth happens. So yeah, people don't say that explicitly.
I disagree with that.
You disagree with
what
which part?
What I'd say is that we say that it's going over the horizon, the apparent horizon that we can see. It's going over the apparent horizon, not the geometric horizon. And that's where, like, do you know quantum eraser?
Okay, but this is my only thing that I'm not understanding. If you are admitting that it's not going over the geometric horizon, why bring it up to prove the shape of the Earth?
Because if it was flat,
then
you wouldn't.
Come on, Rachel.
Yeah, if we assume, so like how quantum eraser QE likes to use if P then Q. So if the Earth was flat, then we would expect to see that it wouldn't go over the horizon. It would just shrink.
Rachel, what you're saying is incorrect. But I want to be clear that this is what you're saying. You're saying that, and again, this is not evidence either way. If I start a sentence by saying if this, then that, that's just an if-then statement. It's not evidence. But let's explore this. You're saying, let's explore this. Let's explore this. Hold on. Are you saying that if the Earth was not curved, there would be no horizon?
I'm saying that if the Earth was flat,
would there be a horizon?
The horizon, there would be a horizon.
All right.
It would be like a blue. It wouldn't be like a.
You're making that up.
It would be like,
Rachel, that's conjecture. That's conjecture now. You wouldn't know that. You wouldn't know that.
But we can mathematically prove that.
No, you cannot mathematically prove anything, Rachel. You prove things using scientific experiments. Okay? Listen.
The science doesn't prove anything. It falsifies things.
All right. But let's be clear. You admit that there would be a horizon if the Earth was flat or curved. So when you see ships going over the horizon, that is not exclusive to a curve. Now you are saying that the horizon would be different if the Earth was flat. I need evidence of that because that's conjecture.
Yeah, but what is exclusively to a curve would that if a ship was going over the horizon and it was curved, that it would disappear bottom up.
And it would do the same thing. It would do the same thing no matter what the geographic shape of the Earth is. Okay, that's what I'm declaring. And not only that, listen, and not only that, If the ship is going over the horizon, it's not going over the geometric curve. So this is not a conversation about the curve at all. I can't believe you don't understand that, Rachie.
Hold on a second. Do we live in an atmosphere?
I assume so. Yeah, I assume so.
Like in a medium, do we have a medium? Do we have a
But
gaseous?
I think the medium is fluid though. I think the medium is water.
No, we're not breathing water.
How do you know?
Well, you can go in water and try and breathe water, but it's not going to work out really well.
Okay, so what is condensation then?
There's water in the air. That's humidity.
So we are breathing water. So we're breathing water, Rachie.
In air, it's a mixture of it.
Okay.
You're also breathing nitrogen.
All right. My point is that do you think that the fish think that they're swimming in water, or are they just breathing air? Probably. What are the fish doing? What do you think, Rachie? You think they're like, oh, I'm in water? No, the fish don't know they're in water. Likewise, you don't know you're in water.
We're different to fish. We can test, we can experiment. A fish doesn't.
Listen.
You know what I mean, we can test the air and what it's made out of. We can see that it's so much oxygen, so much nitrogen, so much hydrogen. You know what I mean? A fish can't do that.
I understand.
Fish can't determine what their medium is made out of.
Right.
We can.
Yeah. So fish aren't smart enough to make themselves ignorant to what's really going on around them. You know what I mean? If like our entire
of the water,
our entire universe, I'm pretty sure, is water. Absolutely everything is water. You cannot escape it. Even though there are different consistencies of it, even though you guys choose to call oxygen, a classification doesn't change physical reality. There is 100% water in the atmosphere. The atmosphere is 100% pretty much just water. Now, it could be different forms of water. It is different forms of water with different consistencies, different molecules, etc. But it's water nonetheless.
There's water in it, but it's not just water. If it was just water, you'd drown, wouldn't you? If you tried to hold
that's conjecture. That's conjecture.
You're gonna.
That's conjecture.
So if you went in the ocean or a pool and you went straight underneath and you tried to breathe, can you breathe?
I'm not saying I'm not saying it's the same water that's in the ocean. I'm saying it's water vapor. Is water vapor not water?
The atmosphere, yes. But
water vapor is water. Okay, so listen.
It's a different medium. What fish is in?
I never said it was the same medium as fish. It is different than the medium that fish is in. But if I am in a medium of water vapor, that's still water. I would not drown. So that's ignorant for you to say that if the atmosphere was water, we would drown. That's not true. The atmosphere is water, and we are not drowning.
But what I'm saying is we live in a medium, therefore we can't see the geometric curve because we live in a medium that is refraction. We can't ignore refraction like QE tries to do.
We can ignore everything that has not been proven scientifically, Rachie. Just because you say we can't ignore something, that don't make it true at all. Okay?
You don't believe in refraction.
I said you have to prove that something is taking an effect in order for me not to be able to ignore it. You can't prove that refraction is the reason why we can't see the curve, because you know what the other option is? There is no curve. If we don't see it, those are your two options.
So is refraction proven?
In this case, no.
No, in any case, is refraction proven? Does refraction exist?
It depends on what you're specifically referring to. What do you define as refraction?
I'm just asking if refraction as a thing, does refraction, regardless of where we are, whether we're under the ocean, whether we're in the ocean, whatever.
Are you saying does light bend at all? You're asking does light bend at all? Does light bend at all? That's what you're asking.
I'm asking if refraction exists yet at all. In any circumstance.
I don't know. Listen, I don't know if light is a physical substance to be bending in the first place. So if light is like, some of our genius inventors of our electrical theory claimed, if light is just a perturbation of the medium, then no, light actually doesn't bend. No, refraction doesn't happen. Different parts of the medium get perturbated based on certain energetic frequency changes. So that is a more accurate description of light.
You actually bend in light, don't you?
That's a more accurate description of light than it being particles that are bending. There's no evidence that occurs, actually.
isn't actually the bending of light. You do know that, don't you?
Say it again.
Refraction isn't actually the
Okay.
bending of light.
I asked you what it was, and you didn't answer it, so I just went with bending of
Oh.
light. What is it? What's refraction?
No, it's a change of wave speed. So we know that light is a wave, right?
No, we don't know that.
You don't know that light's a
No,
wave. Okay.
no. We know that light apparently travels in a wave. Light is not a wave, actually.
It's in a wave, but it's not a wave.
Correct. Water travels in a wave. Is water a wave? No, water's not a wave, even though water sometimes travels in waves. You see?
But have you looked at it on the quantum level?
Have I looked at the quantum level?
Yeah.
Nobody's looked at the quantum level. Nobody's looked at the quantum level unless they're in CERN. This ain't CERN. I know I haven't looked at.
To determine quantum level.
Okay, let me stop being facetious, all right? At the quantum level, it gets even more confusing about what is really going on and not going on in our reality, all right? Things like locality and even gravity as it exists on Earth do not even exist at the quantum level. So our entire understanding of the world really goes out the window when we start looking at quantum mechanics.
But my main point that you're missing is that when you say geometric curve, there's no person that would say it's going over a geometric curve that you see actually going over a geometric curve. It's going over a apparent curve because the atmosphere, we don't ignore the atmosphere.
Okay.
Now, people like QE do ignore the atmosphere. That's why they say if P, then Q. So if it has a radius of 3959, then we expect such and such. But they ignore the atmosphere, knowing that it causes refraction. And we know that there is refraction, as like when I said about the boats floating in the air. When you see what appears to be a boat floating in the air, do you think that boat's actually floating in the air?
I think the boat is floating in water like it always was. Now, listen, Rachie, I'm gonna tell you why your response sounds a bit ignorant to me. And you've been watching me for a while, so I know you're not taking this personally. But when you say that people are not suggesting that boats are going over the geometric curve, but they're going over the apparent curve, to me that sounds stupid because they're trying to prove that there is a geometric curve. Just follow me for a second. Really take in what I'm saying. If we're talking about the shape of the earth, all right, another way to say that is you're trying to prove the geometric curve. That's what you're trying to do. Prove the geometric curve. So when you bring up ships going over the horizon and you admit that the horizon is not a geometric curve, you are either implying that you think even though it's not going over the geometric curve, we still see the geometric curve, even though it's not going over it. It's fleeting back into the atmosphere, not the geometric curve. But somehow that is evidence of the geometric curve. This is the dumbest thing ever. All right, Rachie. Hey, Rachie.
I see where you're coming from. But what do they say when they say it's going over? Whether you want to say geometric or apparent, what do they specify when it's going over the curve?
They say it proves a globe. It does not.
No, but so say we see a ship on the horizon and it's going over the horizon. What do they specify about that ship? What specifically happens to that ship?
They're saying that the ship is disappearing from the bottom up because of the curve of the earth. That's not true.
Why would it disappear? Yeah, but does it disappear bottom up?
I don't actually know, okay? I'm just dealing with the parameters that people are giving. All right? If they say that it disappears from the bottom up, I will believe it. If you guys say it disappears from the bottom up, I will believe it. But if you're going to say it's happening because of the curve of the earth, you got to prove that that's where the curve of the earth is. It's not disappearing because of the curve of the earth.
That's the point. That's the point right there. So if it's disappearing bottom up, why would it do that on a flat earth? If we say the earth is flat, why would it magically disappear from the bottom up? Why not the sides in or the top down? Why the bottom disappears?
Rachie,
why?
I will answer that question if you admit that this doesn't prove that the earth is curved. Even
because it disappears bottom.
no. I want you to admit when you ask me the question. Okay, explain it on the flat Earth. Whether I explain it on the flat Earth correct or I don't, that doesn't prove anything, does it, Rachie?
But it does, because the flat Earth can't explain why it disappears.
Incredulity, Rachie, incredulity is proof now.
No, what I'm saying is
that is Rachie. That's what you're saying.
One second. The globe can explain why it disappears bottom up. Can the flat Earth?
Having an explanation for something is not scientific evidence, Rachie. Can you agree on that or no?
What I'm saying is, if something can explain something, but something
I know
can't,
what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Are you hearing what I'm saying?
Remember, I've got loads of points. This is just one point. So one model can explain this phenomenon, but another model can't. This is point number one.
Okay, but I'm destroying point number one by establishing the fact that this is not evidence either way. It don't matter what explanation you think you have. That don't mean nothing. If I write a paper and I say, here's my explanation, what the hell does that mean to anybody? It don't mean nothing. I don't give a damn how many times it was peer reviewed. That doesn't change Rachie, let me finish. That does not change reality. You admitted earlier that we are not seeing boats go over the physical horizon. So you cannot insert boats going over the horizon as physical evidence of anything. All right? Listen. Listen. Rachie, no, we don't. No, we don't. We don't know nothing, Rachie. You're making all this up.
We don't even know.
You don't know. We live in water. Nope, we live in water now.
So we don't breathe air.
We breathe water.
So we don't breathe air. There's no oxygen in there.
There's no
nitrogen in the air.
Do you know what condensation is?
Yes, I do know what condensation is. Does that mean there's no air? Does that mean that's what I'm saying? So there's
water. It's water.
It can be oxygen, it can be oxygen, it can be hydrogen, it can be all different stuff.
Rachie, this is how you know you're getting beside yourself, all right, Rachie? This is how you know. Because I said there's water in the air, and you said, so there's no oxygen in the air.
Doesn't mean that though, does it?
That's what you said, Rachie. You're beside yourself right now. You're beside yourself.
I'm asking you, just because there's water in the air, does that mean that the air is only made of water? No, it doesn't mean that the air is only made of water.
Oxygen is a component of water. If there's water, that means there's oxygen. Rachie, I expected a lot more from you today. I'm not gonna lie. I expected more from you today.
You can't have pure oxygen.
Huh?
So you don't think you can have pure oxygen?
I wouldn't have no way of knowing that. I would have no way of knowing that. I would have no way of knowing that for sure. All right. I've never done that experiment in a lab. I don't know the answer to that. But I know for a fact that the evidence that we are breathing water vapor and not oxygen is the fact that condensation exists. I can get a sheet and put it outside, just like nothing, just literally outside, right? As the oxygen gets colder, it cools to water. That's what water vapor does. When water gets at a higher temperature, it turns to vapor. That's what we're breathing. When it gets colder, it turns to water. That's what condensation is. Condensation turns the oxygen or the water vapor back to water every day.
But my main point is we can demonstrate that a curve can make things disappear bottom up.
Okay, Rachie, stop right there. No, stop right there. No, hold up, stop right there.
Because you know I'm right.
No,
we can control at the bottom.
I'm trying to agree with you, Rachie. I'm trying to agree with you, but I don't want your points to get lost when you go on to 10, 11 other things. All right. So you said bottom line is this is what you said. Bottom line is a globe can explain why ships would appear. Rachie, are you listening? I don't want to do this to you. All right. Please listen. Okay. Please. You said. All right, I'm going to turn you down, Rachie. I cannot hear you at all. All right. So you said that a globe can explain why things might disappear from the bottom up. Rachie, you're correct about that. A globe can explain why things might disappear, but that doesn't mean shit. Does not mean shit. All right. It's not about what could happen. It's not about what maybe could have happened. What actually did happen? What did happen? And can you prove that that is what actually happened? Well, I know that that's what happened because it's possible. Rachie, things being possible do not make them true. And I can't believe you don't get that. Yeah, well, it's possible that it's a globe. Sure, everything's possible. But unless you prove it for sure, it's not evidence. It's not true at all. I'm not disagreeing with that. So you want to argue about that? Oh, you're cutting me off because you don't want me to be right. Rachie, I'm not cutting you off because I don't want you to be right. I'm cutting you off because you're right, but it's meaningless. You're right. Yeah, sure. It would be explained by a globe. Is it explained by a globe or no? No, it's not. All right, go ahead, Rachie. You're off mute now.
Well, your last sentence was, it can be explained by a globe. Is it explained by a globe or not? No.
No.
So that kind of contradicted itself. But
Rachie, how is that a contradiction? No, how is that a contradiction? You don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. How is that a contradiction?
But that's what you just said.
Yeah, how is that a contradiction?
That's what you just said. Anybody can click there and
Okay, all right, fine. All right, fine. Let me explain to you how it's not then. Since all right, I got to do this to you, Rachie. You know, I got to be fair. All right. Okay, so if I have a bottle, listen. If I have a bottle in my room, right? I have a bottle in my room. I leave and I come back, and the bottle is on the ground, broken. Now, a possible explanation for that is a ghost moving. Is that possible? Sure, it's possible. Yeah, it's possible. People see paranormal shit all the time. What if I have a cat in my room, right? Is it possible that the cat knocked over the bottle? It is possible that the cat knocked over the bottle. Does that mean that the cat knocked it over? No. So that's why I said, even though it's possible that the cat knocking it over can explain it, does that necessarily explain it? No. And you thought that was a contradiction, Rachie?
No.
Oh.
What I'm trying to say, but no, right there.
Oh.
You're not letting me finish. I did say explain.
For a good reason.
I'll admit.
For a good reason.
Right there. I admit I said explain at first. I did, right? We both agree I said explain. The globe can explain, the flat earth can't. We both agree with that. I said that, right?
I don't agree with the second part. I agree with the first part.
Well, that's what I said. I'm saying that we agree that I said the globe can explain it, but the flat earth can't.
Okay,
right?
yeah, we agree that that's what you said. Yes. Yes, we agree that that's what you said. Yes.
So what I meant to say, or what I can add to that, is the globe, a curved surface, can demonstrate that, but a flat surface can't demonstrate.
What's your evidence of that?
Show me a flat earth, a flat surface.
That's not evidence. You telling me to show you something isn't you providing evidence. You know that, right?
I can show you evidence that a curved surface can show.
No, I didn't disagree with that. I disagree with the part that you said a flat surface cannot reproduce said effect. What is your evidence that this cannot be reproduced on a flat surface?
So you disagree with that? So show me that it can produce that effect.
So just say you don't know. Rachie, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. You have to admit that you don't know first, though. We're not going to dissolve you.
I was a flat earther. I tested it.
Okay, so then tell us how you tested it and how do you know that it's impossible to get that same effect on a quote-unquote flat earth? How do you know that?
Tested it on a flat surface unless the camera angle, that camera lens is below the actual thing, then you won't never get it to disappear bottom up.
You wouldn't accept that as an answer if I gave it to you, Rachie. You would not accept that as an answer.
In my videos, if you can show me, I challenge you to show me a video. You have a flat surface and show me an object disappearing bottom up.
Rachie, it's really this simple. So many people have done this so many times. The fact of the matter is, and I know you already know what I'm about to say, but I'm questioning your critical thinking a little bit after this conversation, Rachie. All right. The fact of the matter is that if you think that the ship is disappearing from the bottom up because of the horizon, that would only be true if the ship would never come back into view, no matter how much you zoom in. There have been infinitum observations. I can't hear you. Infinitum observations and experiments using lasers that have pushed past this 3-mile alleged curve. We're talking about 10 miles, 100 miles. Somebody came up earlier and they were talking about an observation from a mountain where you could see like over 500-600 miles. That defies what you're saying right now about ships going over the horizon. And guess what? Even though that surface is flat, it still looks like ships are going over the horizon. That is your evidence. Your evidence is what you see in real life. In real life, you can see a ship that looks like it's going over the horizon. And then when you zoom in, oh, the ship didn't go over the horizon. It's still there. So that evidence exists everywhere, and I know you've seen it. So that's why I either question your critical thinking, Rachie, or maybe I have to come to terms with the fact that you're actually being dishonest.
I have seen that video where the ship disappears and they bring it back in, but that ship doesn't disappear bottom up, and that's angular resolution. So basically,
I think you're being dishonest, Rachie. I think you're being dishonest about that.
Finish.
I think you're being dishonest about that.
Yeah, each turn is too small to see. So basically, if you look at that video where it appears that a ship disappears, but then they bring it back into view by zooming in, you can actually see that ship never disappears bottom. And when you actually zoom it back in, it hasn't gone over.
That sounds like a lie. Rachie, I'm pretty sure that's a lie. Every single ship that has ever disappeared bottom up, for the most part, has been brought back into view with a higher zoom camera, right? You are just lying.
Prove that to you, and then I challenge
you. Okay, all right, well,
the opposite.
All right. Yep. Send it to me. Rachie, send it to me in the DM. I'll look at it, and then we'll discuss it when I come back after I'm done with my family, all right?
To move on.
Shout out, Rachie. Oh, my bad. Did you have something else, Rachie? Did you have something else? Because yeah, we're done with that one. All right, we're going back and forth on the same thing. Again, I don't believe you're being honest at all. Guys, do me a favor, like the video. All right, like the video and sub if you like the content. I said I was going to be up here until 5. I may stay like an extra 30 minutes. All right, 30 more minutes if you guys want to come up and discuss something. All right. Rachie, I put you down just so you know. So you're not up here anymore. You gotta accept the request. Star said the boat goes out of sight the same way a balloon goes out of sight when it floats far away. Joey said, like the video and sub, guys, please. Icebreaker said, we are from Africa. Icebreaker, you might be from Africa, but I am not from Africa. None of my family is from Africa. None of the slaves that were in America before the 1700s ever came from Africa, period. Shout out Morty, I see you down there. Manifest said, I thought we were your family. You are my family, Manifest, you know what I mean? You are my family, man. Shout out Manifestation. Joey said, gravity cannot be proven, though. It can only be explained. Star B said, Rachie is a liar, liar, pants on fire. If I missed your comment, I really do apologize, okay? I love you guys so much for tuning in. Orion, flatbread, and the moon is made of cheese. Jason said, good evening. What's good, Jason? Ivan said, what a load of BS. I don't know who you were referring to, Ivan, but if you think that I was BSing, then prove me wrong, Ivan. It shouldn't be that hard. Shout out Skolivin. Hey, Skolivin. Skolivin said, dang. Oh, good luck, guys. It's been fun, man. Skolivin, hopefully we see you next time, man. All right, Rachie, did you have another subject you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, quite a few, actually. But I'll just go with questions for you. How do you explain the 24-hour sun on the final experiment?
That doesn't have anything to do with the shape of the Earth.
So you don't think the 24-hour sun proves anything?
Nothing in the sky proves anything about the ground. Like if Rachie, if you were a carpenter and I hired you to come in and measure my ground and you started talking about the sky, you know what I would tell you?
What?
I don't know if you could hear that, but basically you're fired. All right. I would fire you instantly. If you're gonna measure my ground, then you're gonna measure the ground. I need measurements of the physical ground, not of the damn sky. So that's what that is. That's a cop-out. They don't have any measurements of the ground. That's why they spend so much damn time focused on the sky. So if I'm talking about the ground and your first words are, so look up in the sky, I won.
Celestial, is that the sky, and what's celestial navigation when they navigate the Earth, the ground, via the sky, celestial? How does that work then?
They did that before they thought the Earth was a globe. So I don't know why you would bring that up.
How do they navigate the ground based on the sky if the sky has nothing to do with the ground?
Because the sky is a map. That's why. The sky is a map. Zanfel, my dog, I appreciate you for tuning in. The sky is a map.
A map of the ground?
Huh?
So the sky is a map of the ground.
No,
so they
no.
navigate the sky.
The sky is a map.
The ground.
No. The sky is a map of the sky. And we use the sky to know where we are on the ground. You know why? Because the ground never moves. And those stars never, ever move. That's why we're able to navigate with them for thousands of years. They don't move. We're not flying through the solar system. The sky is a literal clock and a literal map designed perfectly to help us keep time and know what year it is and know exactly where we are on the physical Earth. That would be absolutely impossible if the Earth was moving and if the Earth was a globe. It would be utterly, absolutely, unequivocally impossible to navigate. As a matter of fact, when you take an angular measurement to the star, you take an angular measurement assuming a flat base. You can't even take an angular measurement on a curved surface. Fact.
Okay, so the sky lets us know where we are on Earth, but the sky has nothing to do with Earth. But we can tell where we are on Earth based on the sky.
It has nothing to do with the shape, is what I said. It has nothing to do with the shape.
Okay,
Rachel,
so do we understand geometry?
Rachel, I'm gonna give you some advice, and you should know this. But I know it might have been a while since you talked to me, but I'm gonna let you know, Rachel. You know that I'm not the person that you're gonna play mind games on, right? You're never gonna trap me up in my words. And even if you do, that's not gonna solve anything. You know what I mean? I would highly advise you to focus on what evidence you have rather than trying to trip me up on what you think I know, because it's not gonna go well. Go ahead though.
You says the sky has nothing to do with the ground, but then you're saying the sky
That's not what I said.
where we are.
That's not what I said. I said it does not prove the shape of the ground. If I hired you to measure my ground and you started talking about the sky, I would fire you. Those were my words. All right. I don't forget my own words, Rachel. I don't.
Okay, but isn't it weird how the angle to polaris matches the geometry of a sphere depending on moving 69.1 degree, 61.9 miles.
Hold on.
60,
say that again.
Miles,
say that again.
1 degree drop, right?
Well, no, I didn't understand that, Rachel. Rachel, if I asked you to stop, it's because I can't freaking hear you. I can't hear you. Start over and please say that clearly and slowly. What the hell are you saying?
Okay, clearly and slowly. So every 69.1 miles, Polaris appears to drop 1 degree. That geometry matches a sphere perfectly with a radius 3959.
Okay, Rachel. All right, let me answer that, Rachel. They got that number from reverse engineering the stars. They did not see a sphere and then that become evidence. They assumed the Earth was a sphere based on that measurement you just gave. Do you understand? That's not evidence of the sphere. They use that measurement to come up with their fake sphere model. That's a fact. All right. For years, Rachel, listen. For years, thousands of years, all right, they would measure the angular measurements to the stars and assume the stars are dropping in angular measurement because I'm going further away from them on a flat surface. not that long ago, they decided to take all of that data, re-engineer it, and then create a fake globe model. All right. So that fake globe model, the evidence for it is not the data that you used to reverse engineer it. You must have physical evidence. All right. That is not evidence of the globe. As a matter of fact, that debunks the globe because, like I said, that angular measurement has always been there, regardless of what shape anybody thought the Earth is. It doesn't prove the shape at all.
But yeah, it matches a sphere and not a flat Earth.
No, it doesn't match a sphere, Rachel. It matches the.
It matches a sphere.
Rachel, listen. It doesn't match a sphere. It matches the sphere that we have on the Earth because they used that measurement to make it. I'm trying my hardest not to call you stupid right now, Rachel. It's taking every inch in me. It's taking every inch in me to not call you stupid, all right? Every inch.
Okay, so you disagree with that? That's 100%.
No, I don't disagree with it.
So
I don't disagree with it. I don't disagree with it. I'm giving you the proper perspective on the measurement.
That it proves a sphere or whatever. You
Of course it doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, of course it doesn't. It's a re-engineering of a measurement.
Okay, that's fine. So that's two things you disagree with: the horizon thing and
It's not what I disagree with, Rachel. Those are facts, Rachel.
Horizon, TFA, and the angles.
It's not about disagreeing. Those are only facts.
According to you, okay. So Foucault's pendulum.
Rachel, has anybody ever been able to establish a direct causation between the movement of the Earth and the movement of the pendulum? Not a correlation, Rachel, a causation. Have they ever been able to do that, Rachel? And if they have, tell me who.
Okay, then why is it different?
You're asking me questions.
So why is it...
Your question is not an answer to my question. You know that, right?
I'm sorry, what was your question again?
My question was, have they ever been able to establish a causation between the movement of the Earth and the swinging of the pendulum?
Yes.
How? How did they do that?
At the equator, there is no drift of the pendulum.
How does that prove a causation?
Because at the pendulum, we would expect zero drift.
That's not proving causation. We would expect zero drift. That doesn't prove causation, Rachel. It's sad that I have to explain that to you, though. All right. If I say the statement because that's the only way it could happen, that don't prove anything.
Because on a rotating sphere with a radius of 3959, we would expect a pendulum at the equator to drift 0 degrees. It wouldn't drift.
God dang it, Rachel.
And then we can determine our latitude based on the drift of how much it drifts, right?
All right.
Now,
Rachel, all right, stop. Rachel, stop. All right. At the very most, what you just did was establish a correlation. But the correlation is between the pendulum and an imaginary thing that you have not proven yet. At the very most, is a correlation. Correlation is not causation, Rachel. Correlation is not causation. Rachel, correlation is not causation. All right. What else do you have? All right. And this is the last one because I'm so close to calling you stupid and I don't want to. All right. Just please hurry.
No, but again, it's something that flat Earth can't explain. And that's
you're lying, Rachel. You are a liar. Rachel, you're a liar. You're a liar.
Okay, if you believe so.
No, not about what I believe. Not about what I believe. You just lied. Rachel, you just lied. Rachel, you just lied. You just lied. It's not what I believe. You just lied.
Drift or not?
Huh?
Does a Foucault pendulum drift or not?
What do you mean, does it drift? I don't know.
So if you set up a Foucault pendulum at different latitudes, does it have a drift? And
What?
If you set it up at the equator,
Rachel, even if it does, what does that prove?
Well, it proves that I'm not a liar like you just
No,
said.
how does it prove that? No, it don't. No, it don't.
Because you just called me a liar for saying that it drifts and it doesn't.
No,
drift.
I called you a liar because you said that the flat Earth don't have a way to explain this. You're a liar.
Okay, so explain it on the flat Earth.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Actually, we're talking about whether or not.
You just called the one for saying the flat Earth doesn't explain it. Go ahead and explain it then on the flat Earth.
Rachel, I know you think you're smart, but you're not. Rachel, I know you. Rachel, I know you think you're smart, but you're not. All right, let me help you out. Right now, you're muted. You're muted. Nobody can hear you. Just so you know, I can't hear you. Nobody can hear you. You have been silenced. You've been silenced. All right. Now, I know you think you're smart, Rachel, but you're really not. You might be smarter than the average person in London or wherever you're at, but what you're saying right now makes absolutely no sense. You brought up the pendulum because you are saying that the pendulum proves that the earth is moving. I ask you to establish a causation between the earth moving and the pendulum. Your response is this could not work on a flat earth. I said, number one, that's not establishing a causation. You saying this could not work on a flat earth. And that's not even true. And you're like, okay, fine. Explain how it works on a flat earth. You think that if you turn the question on me and ask me to explain how it works on a flat earth, I'm going to forget the fact that you can't establish a causation? Rachel, you're out of your damn mind. You're just up here trying to run games on me, and you're not even good at it. Yeah, look at this person is a mod, by the way. All right, I don't just mod people that agree with me, and I don't just mod intelligent people. Obviously, shout out Rachel. I like Rachel. You know what I mean? She understands my humor. I'm just saying, you're being idiotic, Rachel. You need to establish a causation between the Earth moving and the movement of the pendulum. Asking me a question is not establishing a causation. Rachel, asking me a question is not establishing a causation. Rachel, if you ask me a question, that is not an answer to my question where you're supposed to be establishing a causation. That's called a deflection. That is a ruse. And you think that I'm what? Embarrassed because you say, well, he don't want to answer my question. I don't give a damn. Rachel, you should know me by now to know that I don't give a damn about none of that. All right? If you're not going to establish a causation, we don't have nothing else to talk about as it relates to that. I don't got to explain shit. If you can't establish a causation, there's nothing for me to debunk. Debunk what? I think this could only work on a globe Earth. Well, guess what, Rachel? I think it could only work on a flat Earth. You see how your statement and my statement hold the exact same weight? If you never come in here and give us evidence, why the hell do I got to give you anything? I don't got to give you nothing. You make a statement, I disagree with you. All right? We're moving on from you, Rachel, all right? Like I said, I'm going to be back later after I'm done eating with my family. And if you guys are here, then we can pick this conversation back up. But again, Rachel, like I said, I was about like at least 10 to 20 different times. The only thing that was about to come out of my mouth was, Rachel, you're an idiot. Or you're an idiot. Or you're a dishonest person, which, again, I've already told you that I believe that. So even though you're dishonest and you are, quite frankly, an idiot, you know, you attempt to participate in the conversation. And for that, I love and I appreciate you, Ray G. All right? And you're welcome up here anytime. You know that. Shout out Ray G. Darren says gravity equals pseudoscience. Joey said, not what I was saying. Gravity, a concept, is the only thing they got. Absolutely. Let's see. Guel Guapo, a torus field also has a 0 point. What's good, Guel Guapo? I thought I saw Matt Hakeem up there earlier. Zanfel was good, Zan. Darren said only the truth. Jesus is king was good. Jesus is king. Joey said it's called deflect and dodge for a reason. That's what I'm saying. Like Rachel, like she thinks that she's smart enough to come in here and turn my question on me. And I'm honestly insulted by that. I'm insulted that you thought that was gonna work on me, Rachel. That's crazy. Zanfel said Rachel loves you for sure. Rachel is one of my longest followers. Rachel has been following me longer than every single person that is in this live and every single mod. You know what I mean? She's my CIA handler, if you will. Oh, the CIA is like, Rachel, we can't reach him with the dudes, all right? So we're gonna send in, hey, it's like Undercover Brother. We're gonna send in black man's kryptonite. Rachel, listen, white women are not my kryptonite, all right? You cannot come in here and think that you're gonna throw your accent around and I'm gonna fold to you just because you're a woman. Now, if we were in person, you know, I can't promise how that's gonna go, but online, yeah, I don't give a shit. All right. I don't give a shit. We're not finna sleep together after this. You know what I mean? So I don't give a damn. You know what I mean? Now, if there was some ass in it for me, then, you know, maybe I would have to reconsider. But I'm not getting no ass after this. So I don't give a damn. Rachel, you sound dumb. All right? You sound ridiculous. I can't believe the CIA sent White She-Devil after me. Oh, we love you. Reggie said, I don't have an accent. Yeah, okay. Jeremy said, thought she had you with that privy accent. Can you prove to me that atoms are real? This is a question for you guys if you disagree with us. Can anybody in the chat prove that atoms are even real? Let's see. Reggie said, remember to hit that like regardless of agree or disagree. All right? We are one big happy family over here. We disagree, we scream, we yell, we call each other stupid, and then we kiss and make up later. All right? Reggie said, didn't even get on gradiometry. Well, there's next time, all right? All right, who did I not call out? If I didn't call you out, put your name in the chat right now. If I didn't call you out, put your name in the chat. What's good? What's good, Morty? I see you down there. Bill, my dog, what's good, Bill? Darren, of course. Who is that? Ahau? Ahau? I don't know how you pronounce that. Joey, guys, I'm going to be back later this afternoon, all right? Or later this evening. So let's say, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 p.m. Pacific Standard. Maybe somewhere around 8 or 9 p.m. Pacific Standard, all right? Bill said there are definitely no quarks. B God, what's up, B God? Zanfel. Yep. Javier. What's good, Javier? Sent the 10 jewels. Thank you, Javier. John, hey, what's good, John? Thank you guys for tuning in, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, like I said, around like 8 or 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that's when I'll be back. And we'll pick right up where we left off. You guys know how we do. You know what I mean? Like I said, until we reach 100K subs, I think I'm gonna go every day until we reach 100K. I don't care how long it takes. Frequency said, y'all get wild on here. I love it. Absolutely, Frequency. We do get wild on here. All right. Darren, Ehos, Dakota. Dakota sent the 550 jewels. Thank you so much, Dakota. I appreciate that. Of course, Zanfel. John said, what's up with it? Shout out John in the chat. Beer God in the chat. Frequency in the chat. Of course, Darren. All right, guys. That's enough. Like the video. Sub if you like the content. Reggie said, don't appreciate being muted. Well, listen, sometimes it has to happen, all right? Reggie, one thing that everybody in the chat will agree, I let you talk longer than anybody that has been up here the past 2 days. Number one, because, I've known you for a while, and I'm pretty sure you're not going to troll. And, number two, because, because you're a woman, all right? It is what it is. All right? Female privilege. All right? Female privilege. All right? You guys get more privilege. At least with me. I'm going to be honest. With me, yeah. You're a woman, and so I allowed you to come up here, and I didn't mute you like I usually mute other people, and I didn't interrupt you like I usually interrupt other people. But when it's time for you to be quiet, everybody got to get that work. Bill said, Ross, update the scoreboard. I'm going to try my best. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There is certainly female privilege over here. All right. Whether you guys like it or not, you know what I mean? I'm a dude. We got a lot of dudes in here. And of course, there's a lot of women too, but this is not a woman hating live, right? We love women over here, and call us what you want. You know what I mean? We're gonna, we're gonna give them more grace than we do men. That's just a fact. If you're a woman, you get more grace than a man. I'm sorry. All right. Maybe if I wasn't heterosexual, I would feel different, but it is what it is. AJ Moore, what's good, AJ? AJ said facts, and she's cute too. Well, AJ, that could be catfish. All right, AJ, that could certainly be catfish. You have no idea what she really looks like. AJ, don't trust people on the internet. All right, you just never know. Okay. Well, hey, one thing you know for sure is that I'm not catfish, and this ain't catfish. All right, for sure. I'm probably the only person that you could tell on the internet that ain't catfish. Everybody else, I don't know. We're having fun. Guel Guapo, Polaris ends the globe debate. Polaris ends the globe debate. A star that does not move proves everything we know is a lie. Guapo, I'm adding you as a mod. You've been in here for 2 days, dropping that knowledge. Takeoff Lord said, I'm a girl. Shout out Takeoff Lord. Takeoff Lord, we love and appreciate you. We love and appreciate all the women in here. Blue Dragon said, catfish are sexy. That's wild. Dustin said, everyone like and subscribe. Rachie said, I'm a 63-year-old male. Well, see, there you go. You see? You see, AJ? You see what I'm talking about? Can't never trust them. Can't trust them. Well, how come she sounded like a girl? She could have a voice changer. You guys don't know what voice changers are? You never heard of a voice changer. Anyway, I'm telling you, don't trust these people on the internet. All right, don't trust these people. All right, listen. Like, sub, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Around that time is when we'll be back. All right. Star B, I see you. Dustin Baker, Joey. I love you guys so much. We'll see you later.